What's up, weebs? Welcome back to Anime Lane, the podcast where we take you down the yellow brick road of anime and have a look at everything it has to offer. As always, I'm your host, Notorious, and joining me once again today is Shaun.
Hi.
And Melina.
Hello.
Today we're diving into the deepest wrinkles of our smooth brains in Paprika, directed by Satoshi Kon, written by Seiichi Minakami and Satoshi Kon, music by Susumu Hirasawa, animation production by Madhouse based on the novel by Yusutaka Tsutsui. It released in Japanese theatres in November 25th, 2006. The current licensing situation outside Japan is a little unclear. It was originally released by Sony Pictures worldwide, and in the UK it eventually got released by Manga with two different transfers, and it's a little confusing. But it's now out of print. But it is still currently available to buy or rent digitally. It is Kon's final feature film before his death in 2010. I think he only ever directed 4 feature films before he passed away. Then I have no quippy line from introducing Himegoto because just yikes. It was directed by Takayuki Yanase, written by Kazuya Hyodo, music by Hiroyuki Kozu, animation production by Asahi Productions. I don't know if they're related to the beer company or not. It is based on the manga.
We're not finding out here, so
Wouldn't be shocked.
No.
do your own research on that one.
It is based on the manga by Norio Tsukudani. It aired from July 7th to September 29th, 2014, and is available to stream on Crunchyroll.
2014?
Yeah, I mean, it does not have the style of anything from the early 2000s or the late 90s.
No.
I was thinking late 2000s though.
Yeah.
Nah, it's very much clearly in the HD era.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So, yeah, me and Shaun watched Paprika first, so we'll start with that and
Yeah.
just push
Because
the
democracy.
problems
Yeah.
back.
We'll get there.
Yeah. Where start? Where begin?
Terrorism.
Yeah. Yeah.
We start with terrorism because they say... Because they start... Why did they go straight to terrorism?
Dream terrorism.
Why is terrorism a recurring theme on these fucking podcasts?
You know, maybe that's our thing.
No, I don't want it to be our
let's,
thing.
you know.
We make that our thing, we're going to get investigated.
Oh no, they watch too much anime about terrorism.
Points to all the episodes where we've talked and joked about 9/11.
Look, we just had a weird month, okay, where it
Yeah,
was
you
mentioned
know.
in every episode, and since then we've calmed down.
Is this our new Hitler?
Oh my god.
Where he keeps
don't,
popping up.
Don't.
Remember that brief time?
Oh god.
Welcome to Anime Lane,
So
ladies and gentlemen.
I had seen-ish Paprika before.
Yeah.
As in, it was on TV, but I was not paying attention.
Yeah.
And every now and then I glance and oh, it looks cool. And the parade song,
Yeah.
I instantly recognized. And I don't know what it is. There's something so vaguely threatening about it.
Well, that's just like all of Susumu Hirasawa's like music in general, because he also made the soundtrack for Berserk.
Yeah.
And like all of it's just vaguely threatening, unsettling, or like the most uncomfortable but like beautiful piece of
But it's
music.
really
that you've ever
good
heard.
'cause-
yeah.
I'll say the best part about this movie is the music. Like that's my
Yeah.
I'd say
Yeah.
I'd say this is the best part. Because I didn't get the story. I mean, I knew I could understand the story as like a plot sort
Yeah.
of eventually. But you know
Yeah.
what?
I feel like it's one of those ones where you're not maybe necessarily meant to understand the general intricacies of what's
Yeah.
happening, but more just the broad strokes
Cool.
Yeah.
of what's happening. I'm sure there's a lot of people going, oh no, but you're not seeing the
Actually-
deeper meaning.
Yeah, you're not looking
no.
at
Fuck
it
up.
this way.
Deeper meanings are fine to have, but you shouldn't need to know a deeper meaning to understand the
No,
film in
no.
the first watch.
Exactly.
This is my second watch, though.
And you still...
I feel like I understood it less. I feel like I understood it fine the first time, and I watched it this time and I went, what?
Wait a second.
So it's like Akira syndrome.
It just kind of... At all times, you're like, okay, so we have Dream World with the little mini... DC Mini? I
The
think.
DC Mini, yeah.
Do they ever say
DC
what
mini.
DC stands for?
I don't think
'Cause
so.
I was assuming like
Dreamcatcher.
Dreamcatcher. Yeah.
It does kind of look like a Dreamcatcher when they're not wearing
Yeah.
it.
That's what I assumed, but like there was a part of my brain, because I'm me, I did think fucking Dreamcast Mini.
My brain was like, direct current Mini? Like, they're just
Detective
putting
Comics Mini?
They're just putting a fucking power adapter on their head.
No, Batman
Basically,
comics.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's Batman comics.
Is there like a
Do they?
DC mini?
What mean?
What is...
What mean?
Oh, Papra.
Paprika. Because it's a well designed object. I want to say.
Yeah.
You really get the elements of. We're not there yet, technology
No.
wise.
It's experimental.
Yeah, exactly. Dream console.
Well, that's boring.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Go all
just
in. Just say
disappointing.
Dreamcatcher.
Yeah, it catches your dreams.
Could have written this better.
I could have done a better
Yeah,
job
yeah,
of
why are you
this.
listening?
I do not think any of us could have done a better job with
Absolutely
this movie.
not.
It's just so trippy. You need to get so many things out of the way before you even start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I think it's impossible to know exactly what's going on.
I think it was weird watching it like the second time round and going, oh, the detective does not have as much of a presence as I remember him having the first time round.
Honestly, weirdly same, because I just had the image of his face everywhere, kind of imprinted,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Especially in
His
the
dreams.
opening scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
like that's
his
how
dreams.
it starts out. Everyone just sort of becomes him.
Yeah.
Which I think is a really good opening, because dreams are trippy like that.
Yeah,
You know,
for sure.
You know, where everyone suddenly turns to you and it's you. It's
Oh.
your face. Everyone has your
Like, I've had
face.
dreams like that.
Yup.
Yeah. And then everyone with your face just starts like fucking running.
Running, and then
at
you get
you.
swallowed by, like, the floor.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we've all been there.
Yeah,
exactly.
when he was chasing like the culprit after the kid had been shot and like he started running and the floor started, I was like, oh, I've been there. Where like you
yeah.
want to move and you want to be fast about it because you feel like you're being chased or something like that,
Feel
and
like
then
you're
suddenly you're
treading,
just yeah,
through
Yeah, yeah.
water and dreams.
yeah.
Dreams, yeah.
It really does emulate the feeling of dreams like really well.
Oh, for sure. And I think again, it starts off really strong, but it does start losing me a bit, I'd say, after the first act.
Yeah, agreed.
Which is, I think, just because they have so much going on that they
Yeah.
need to explain, that you're just kind of being pulled through. It's like not necessarily exposition dump, but you need to know a few things.
Yeah, I think it's a mystery story that doesn't do a good job of explaining its own mystery.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it, actually. Yeah.
Having just read a mystery book and now reading another mystery book, it's like, oh yeah, this is not a good way of doing mystery.
Because I kind of wish that the detective story was maybe a bit more forefront.
Yeah.
Because we kind of go back and forth on him actually being there.
Yeah.
To the point where I feel like a large part of the second half, he just wasn't there. And then suddenly he was there again.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, it's the guy.
It sort of felt like two separate stories stitched together more than like a B plot and an A plot in one cohesive
Yeah,
movie.
I feel like it would have made more sense if the detective story was like actually present. He was the A plot, and until the third act, all of the stuff to do with the
Yeah.
scientists,
Yeah.
doctors, was like the B plot, because then you could sort of give the information to us in bite-sized chunks about the DC money and the problems with it and the fact that there is a mystery there,
Yeah.
without just constantly beating us over the head.
Yeah. Like, don't you get it? It's like, no.
No.
I don't fucking, I have no idea. It's like, we're going to go into the dream world. I'm like, what?
I feel like if they
Okay.
if they had done that as well, I feel like the whole Paprika and the actual doctor's name, whose name I forget.
Chiba, that's her last name.
Yeah.
Her given name's Atsuko, I think, because the big guy calls her
Yeah.
Achan.
Yeah.
So
Which I kept reading as A-chan.
yeah, fair.
But I feel like that would have been better because I'm still very unclear on that whole situation.
I don't quite get it either.
Like, is she an
Yeah.
alter ego? Is it a split personality?
There's clearly something there, especially down to the fact that Pretty Boy fucking full on shoves his hand in her and like peels her skin.
We're calling him Pretty Boy.
That's like the only thing
yeah.
I can.
Sure.
Yeah,
guess.
like that's his only real function. He's
Yeah.
not smart, and he's clearly just there as like some plot fodder for the fact that
Yeah.
the chairman can't walk and wants his body.
That's what this whole thing is about. Apparently.
Yeah, and then it turns into One Punch Man at the end,
Yeah.
where he grows big.
Yeah.
And then a child grows big.
Yeah.
Which is the result of a romance plotline that came the fuck out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they insulted the big guy
Yeah.
throughout this entire movie. Like, you fat so.
Yeah.
And it's not even like suddenly it flips that around either.
No.
It's
No.
like she's just like, oh, I love all that about you, but it's a bit much. And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Love?
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he was trying to call you H and you were like, I think the fuck not. Like, okay, clearly he has a thing for her.
Yeah.
And it's the whole nerd, pretty girl dynamic, I suppose. And then at the end, she's like, oh, it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
What?
And then at the very end, it's like, oh yeah, they're married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
it feels like they didn't know how they were going to end it until the very end. So they're like, fuck it, power of love. Let's just put the love story in there.
There was part of me like, is the book available in English? And it is, but not digitally. So I was like, oh fuck, I can't just download it on the iPad and then go, where's the end?
Turns out she just killed him at the end. I'm sorry, I was just really grinding my gears.
Honestly, that would have been better.
Yeah. Because I feel like he was kind of meant to be a comic relief at some.
I genuinely
stages?
don't know because I just felt bad for him.
Yeah,
most of the
exactly.
time.
And he was just written to me as like an early 2000s skinny actor in a fat suit.
Yeah.
You know? What I'm like Monica from Friends, kind of.
Yeah,
where it's
yeah.
like, because they are like fat, the only thing they do is eat.
Yeah.
And they ate a lot.
It's their entire
Okay.
personality.
Yeah, that's the only personality
Yeah.
trait they have. And they get stuck in the elevator.
Oh, but his
haha.
isn't just that he eats a lot, it's that he's also really fucking smart.
Yeah, he's a genius. But,
He's Sheldon, but fat.
Yeah.
But, personality, they don't really show
No.
that personality-wise.
No.
They just keep calling him a genius.
He's almost like the stereotypical, like, otaku
Yeah.
persona, but, like, amped up to 10,000.
I'm gonna be honest, throughout, like, most of this movie, I was like, is this guy, like, a self-insert or something?
I don't think so.
But, like, a sort of distorted one.
Yeah.
Not sure how to describe it.
Because he's almost the comic relief up until the point that Achan just full on berates the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And then there's just, they don't interact for almost the rest of the movie until the very last, like,
Yeah.
scenes.
And, confession of love.
Yeah.
Which, again, came the
Where
fuck
she's
out of
in
nowhere.
a dream within a dream within a dream. Oh,
Again,
Wow.
you just go into this movie just thinking, don't assume you're anywhere at any
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, just let it happen. Just let
Just
let
it-
the whole movie wash
just
over
let
you.
it let it go, let it wash over and just like, okay.
you've seen Inception, right?
Yes.
Yeah, have you seen Inception? I didn't think so.
I gave you a look of no.
Yeah, some of the cinematography here has moments of like,
Yeah,
and clearly
for
the
sure.
plot structure is like similar as well.
I'd say so,
minus the whole dream heist, because
Yes.
that's the main thing of Inception. But like the third act where it's like sometimes you're not sure when they're coming in and out of dreams. It's like I was watching it and I'm like, yeah, did Nolan see this? Was Nolan aware? Because some people have been like, oh, it's very clear. And I'm like, these things can happen.
I feel like the trope of, and it was all a dream has always existed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Is it possible that Inception was inspired by this? Yes. Is it possible that it wasn't? Also, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of people point to the scene where Paprika's like standing in the street and like everything sort of like starts crumbling in the
Oh,
dream
yeah,
and she
yeah,
like
yeah.
touches it and there's like a scene in Inception where Leonardo DiCaprio and
Elliot Page?
Elliot
Elliot
Page,
Page, yeah.
are in like a similar looking location and she touches it and it all kind of falls apart and
Yeah,
stuff.
I have seen that clip. Yeah.
Yeah. But then there's people who are like, no, it's not. And I'm like, look, I don't fucking know. But, there's clear similarities for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, there's a case for like saying that it was
For
but
sure.
Yeah.
It could probably be a coincidence as well. We
yeah,
don't fucking know.
exactly. It's like, what was the name of the author of the Hunger Games?
Susan Collins.
She had never heard of Battle Royale until after the Hunger Games had been published, even though they're basically
It's that.
Yeah.
Again, as a concept, it is not the most
No.
developed concept of people go in arena and kill.
But even down to like the end of the first book in the Hunger Games and ending with two of them like surviving was like exactly how Battle Royale ended in the book and stuff as well. Even though it's a bit darker and grimmer, because Battle Royale is actually worthy literature and Hunger Games is
How fucking
you
dare
know.
I feel like we're about to get a debate
Why
here that's not
Yes.
what the episode is about.
Sorry, this
Of
is
all-
way off topic.
Of all the fucking teen movies we got in the era, that was the best one.
I mean, the movies are like fine. They're like okay.
Books as well.
Books are fine as well, but you're talking about a book that's this thick versus a book that's this thick.
I mean, fair.
For the listeners, he's taken his two fingers and made them slightly wider.
No.
Between
So
those two sayings.
you're talking maybe like 2 to 3 times the length. Basically, you could fit the whole Hunger Games trilogy within the length of just Battle Royale. The book. I am getting so many fucking spam emails right now.
I've just stopped getting like a whole surge of them, so it's like it's moving on to you.
I got like 3 last night from someone trying to claim they were Dashlane. Like, we're gonna deactivate your account. And I'm like, no, the fuck you ain't.
I keep getting. This is so off topic for anime, by the way. Now, but like, feel free to cut this out.
I
in the
love that
edit,
we
but-
don't know what the fuck to say about this movie, so we're talking about literally anything else.
I got like 3 emails now from like some sort of home like owner thingy, and I was like, I don't own a home or anything like that, so I don't even care if you're actually spam or if you actually are trying to sell me something legitimately. You're not
Doesn't
getting anything
apply
from
Yeah.
to me.
It's like, see if you're eligible for free power or something. I'm like,
I don't want free power.
Yeah.
I'm like, 1, you're probably spam, and 2, you don't want to ask me. Because
Yeah.
even if you were real, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
So, delete.
How do we transition back to Paprika?
It's almost too trippy for itself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I genuinely was watching this like, a couple of times this week I've not felt great and I'm like, am I coming down with something? And I watched this and went, oh my god, fucking, I wish I did.
I'll be completely honest. I watched this after I came home from work, and I got through half of it. Then I was like, I'm gonna take a nap.
Yeah, fair.
Took a 20-minute nap, went back to it, decided once we're at 30 minutes left, I'm taking another nap. But didn't. I did.
I legitimately, I got to like 20 minutes into this movie, and this was in like 1 in the afternoon or something. I was like, I need to get a monster or something, just to because I need energy to get through this.
Because it really drags at moments because, you have this kind of info dumping that is sort of necessary, but I think we could have done with, it's whatever.
Yeah.
I don't think it made any difference for me semi-knowing what they were talking about.
I think this all comes back to like what my main thought about like right after I finished it, and I think it sums up my feeling of the whole movie. Out of all the, is it Kon movies?
Satoshi Kon. Yeah.
Kon, okay. Sorry,
I don't know, everyone pronounces it differently.
Can.
So, no.
Kon stands better than Kon to me, so. But out of all of his films that we've like watched, I feel like this is the one where like it being sort of trippy and like sort of surreal hindered it more than helped it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
like of the 3 we've watched so far, because the only one we haven't seen is Tokyo Godfathers, I think like all of them are trippy to an extent.
But you still
it's-
know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's all sort of like heavily considered, I think, in those ones, whereas this, it's almost like,
It's trippy for the sake of being trippy.
Yeah, they sat like in the writing booth and they're like, another layer.
Yeah.
Like, no, we don't need another
It felt like
layer.
at this point they were like, you know his style. This is just what's expected at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. You
But there's
just
no
don't know.
purpose with it. Like Perfect Blue had a definite purpose.
oh
with
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Millennium Actress.
Is a structural thing, I think.
Yeah,
more than
exactly. Like
anything
it
else.
still makes sense
Uh-huh.
that they did that. It made no sense.
Yeah.
as a
Yeah,
sentence.
yeah.
But this one, it felt like it was just done that way because that's what you expect from the director, and it didn't really help the
Yeah,
movie itself.
I think it's almost like
It didn't serve the movie, is what I tried to say.
I think it's like a lesser case of Tarantino syndrome,
Mm.
where
Maybe, yeah.
the more successful Tarantino becomes, the more his autoristic tendencies get to run rampant to the
Yeah.
point that his movies just become
Unwatchable.
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
Say it. I don't like the guy. It's
Like,
fine.
I don't like. I have grown to hate him over the
Yeah.
past
I-
like 2 or 3 years.
I've seen one Tarantino movie, and it's the one that everyone's seen, which is Pulp Fiction.
I actually haven't seen Pulp Fiction. To be fair, I've tried.
It's
I got like halfway
Same.
through.
Same.
It's fine. I'm not gonna. It's not a movie I tell anyone you need to rush to see or
Yeah.
anything. Like I watched it on TV when it was just on, and I thought it was fun-ish.
Yeah,
But like, I wouldn't call myself a Tarantino fan because
No.
of it or anything like
No.
that.
I
I
like
don't
a
feel an urge to
couple.
watch
I
any
think-
more movies.
Inglourious Bastards to me is his best.
yeah. I'd say that or Django.
Oh, I haven't seen Django. But I've heard
Django
of
is
it.
good. I think it's like once you hit after that with Hateful Eight and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
it's like that's where he just becomes
He
totally
got too much money.
unchained. Yeah,
Yeah.
no one stepped
No
in.
producer was like, I'm not putting my name.
Yeah.
The only Tarantino movie I'd say I'm like interested in watching other than Inglourious Bastards, which I forgot was him until right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's actually Kill Bill, surprisingly.
Yeah,
enough,
that's fair. I
Yeah.
get that.
because I like action.
I have.
I've just
interest-
finished watching John Wick, so
I have interest in all of his earlier stuff. Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction. I will finish it eventually.
no rush.
Jackie Brown and Kill Bill, like those are the ones. Like I'm ashamed to admit I haven't seen those, but I like sort of started watching them backwards at the time, which was
yeah.
like Django, Inglourious Bastards, and then I hit like there was something before that, and then there was Death Proof, and Death Proof legitimately made me want to almost kill myself. It is terrible.
Oh, great.
It's the double feature thing with Robert Rodriguez's Planet of Terror.
I think I've heard something about that.
Yeah. Planet of Terror is meant to be really good. I'm not even sure if that's the name of the movie. That's meant to be very good. Death Proof is Kurt Russell driving around being a shit stunt driver,
Oh, fun.
Oh, cool.
and it's just fucking boring.
Great.
Yeah.
But our point is,
Yeah,
Yeah,
back to
yeah, yeah.
anime.
when I think directors get a reputation,
Yeah.
producers slowly kind of pull back their, opinions. They're like,
Uh-huh.
oh, he's done well. And I think even if you're really good at what you do, you need some people there that tell you you're going too far.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
turns into a George Lucas situation, because of course I'm going to bring that
Yeah.
up in this situation, where like he ends up getting surrounded by functional like yes men at the end of the
Yeah.
day, and you end up with movies like the Star Wars prequels,
Yeah.
where at some point someone needed to tell George,
No.
stop,
Yeah.
think about this for a
Yeah,
second,
yeah.
pull back a little.
I think probably the closest equivalent is maybe Hayao Miyazaki. Because I'm not sure how much anyone stepped in at any point in his later movies and said, maybe...
Rework this.
Yeah.
bit.
Think this through a bit more.
Because, like, there was Toshio Suzuki, I believe, is, like, the long-standing producer for them, but with how long they've been working together, I can't see him as anything more than, like, possibly just someone to facilitate Miyazaki's,
Yeah.
tendencies.
Yeah.
Because, The Boy and the Heron, which is, for some reason, the English title of How Do You Live, which is the actual name of the movie in Japanese,
Huh.
took, like, 4 years to make, because that was meant to come out longer than that, I think. So it was meant to come out for the summer 2020 Olympics.
Ah.
Obviously, the end times meant that
The apocalypse
happened.
Yeah.
But when things went back into production, it was something like they were only animating something like 30 seconds a month.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So it does make me wonder. There's also weird decisions in some of his movies, like The Wind Rises, all of the sound effects of the planes are actual people just making the sounds. Yes.
Wow, wow.
The propellers are someone going, Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Wind Rise is a great movie. It does sort of work, but at the same time, you're also watching it like, was this necessary?
Yeah. God.
Could have been so much more.
Or it's, no one stepping in with Nolan and going, hey, maybe you just should balance the dialogue properly and not be a... I almost said a really... No, it's not that bad that I can justify calling him that. Don't be a dick about it. Is the nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
I almost called him something very, very different.
It's probably what I'm thinking of, so I'm not going to push you on that.
Yeah. But yeah, I think Paprika is... You see a really good idea there.
Yeah.
Something that could really work. And I think the through line of like the parade and everything is very interesting, but it becomes too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like to the point where you kind of leave, the movie experience and you're like, you don't feel that euphoric sense of, that was nice. You're just kind of
there's
like...
no satisfaction at the end.
Yeah. Because the romance pop comes out of nowhere, so that doesn't, resolve anything that you had bubbling up. So you're just kind of left with,
Yeah, and we also find out purely through exposition that the detective resolved everything.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, he made a film. I'm like, what?
Everything that was left hanging gets resolved through narration or a note.
Yeah,
which isn't how film works.
Lazy.
Yeah.
To say the least. Can work, yeah, but to use all of them, it's a bit lazy.
Because he literally just sits back from his computer, puts in the web address, and then it's like, she's getting married, we heard you solved the case, hope everything's doing well, see ya.
Go see a movie.
Watch this movie,
Watch this movie, yeah. And then it's just like him walking the cinema, and I'm like, oh yeah, all the better Con movies.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, okay, that's neat. Wish I was watching one.
Yeah, if only, But I'll appreciate it for its visuals still.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, visually it's really nice.
I think I have the same feeling towards this as I do towards Tenet. And I know I'm coming back to Nolan and I'm coming back to comparisons, but I was talking to someone about this last night where it's not that director's best film. It's not even like something I fully enjoy, but it is better than 95% of the schlock that gets put out on the screens. There is more creative endeavor and thought put into it, where I'd rather sit and watch that than Twilight or, the 15th Your Name knockoff that gets put out.
Yeah.
Even though I keep fucking buying those Your Name knockoffs.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean.
yourself.
We're very much a quantity over quality kind of turn. It's like whatever makes profit, we'll just put out there. And you can tell, like, there was passion for this project. Maybe it was slightly, lost along the way or just, wasn't reined in properly, maybe. You can still tell it was a passion project. There was effort and everyone felt, connected to the project. Even if it just didn't really
It didn't come together fully at the end.
Still an interesting watch, though.
Yeah. I think it also kind of suffers from being stuck in the early mid-2000s era of we've just moved away from film, but digital's not quite there yet.
Yeah, so we're in that sort of transitional period.
Yeah. Like, the film still looks great, but it still has that, like, rough early digital...
You can sort of feel like if... It feels a bit like a TV special.
Yeah.
In terms of the way it looks. Which, you can't help that just because of the time it was in, but, just looking at it from our viewpoint now, it just sort of has that feeling.
Yeah. A fun fact, the two bartenders in the, like, radio club or whatever it's called, the taller one with the grey hair, who has 5 lines throughout the entire film, is voiced by Kon.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a neat fact.
Yeah.
That is a fun little fact.
Yeah, because I love the first time he cuts in with like this really meta line about movies, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
I see what you did there.
The voice cast is actually quite interesting, I have to say. Because there is one who you have heard before, at least, but you would never, ever realize it was them.
Is it a Lupin?
No, in fact, I don't
That's
think
the
there's
most
any
recognizable for us.
Lupin. So the Tokita, the big scientist, was voiced by Toru Furuya, who you guys have heard as Amuro in Gundam.
Oh, that makes sense.
And they do not sound alike to me.
No, not at all.
He's also the voice of Yamcha in Dragon Ball. He's in a lot of stuff.
That's a lot of credits.
Yeah, just looking at the stuff that's on like my actual list anyway. But yeah, you also got Megami Hayashibara, who's just in a lot of stuff, and probably most recognizable, she is the voice of Eevee in Pokemon. She also voices other characters and like a lot more Pokemon.
Oh, I imagine so.
Yeah.
She's also filled in for Ikue Otani, the voice of Pikachu, a couple of times.
Okay, yeah.
And you got Akio Otsuka, who's the voice of Bato. He's Konakawa, the detective. Yeah, so I was like listening to it and I'm like, there are so many voices here that I recognize. But yeah.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
I love fun facts.
Yeah.
Fun little
I just thought that was
fact,
worth bringing up because it's the first time I think there's been like proper crossover for us in the voice cast.
So now we can bring that up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's
Are we done with Paprika?
I think we're done with Paprika.
Do we want to score it?
Yeah, let's score it
It's
real quick.
difficult to
It
score.
is. I think even with its problems, I still think it's like maybe a 7.5 or an 8.
I understand why. to be
Yeah, like I
honest.
get that.
Yeah.
I think I'm leaning for a 6.5.
I was the same.
Yeah,
I was
'cause-
gonna say that too.
Like, I think the drag that it has is really pulling it down for me.
Yeah.
Because, to have it that badly to the point where you're like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Like-
if I'm like at like halfway through the movie and I'm just and my mindset is fuck it, like
Yeah.
I'll just stop taking it in at this point. I feel like you've sort of failed
Yeah.
a little bit in some way. It's not a bad movie.
No,
I wouldn't call
no,
it a
no,
bad
I get
movie.
that.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just I can't put it above a 7.
No,
No,
that's fair. I
no.
get that.
Again, I love a lot of things about it. I think the parade to me sticks out most because they really make an effort to kind of showcase how it was created, how it's growing.
Yeah.
And everyone's
I like-
just insane.
I like the movement of everything in the parade
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well, and
The score perfectly
score is
works.
like great.
with it,
Yeah, the first scene I think with Paprika sort of flying about, and
Yeah.
like the scenes similar to that are also really good visually. But like beyond those points, I can't see myself really wanting to go back to this movie.
Yeah. I like it as a visual piece. I like the sound because put Susumu Hirasawa on the soundtrack and I'm fucking there for it. And like those two I think are strong enough for me that like I'll come back and watch it again.
Yeah.
Just because there's so many sequences that work just either whether it's the parade or transitioning from
Even the butterfly scene I thought was really good, where she's like Paprika's laying and
Yeah.
her wings and the
Oh, yeah,
walls
yeah.
are covered and
It
like
was a good like sense of like uncomfortableness.
Yeah.
That I think was obviously the intent.
I then like the detective watches that like on a movie screen and then sort of forces his way in. I think there's a lot there that could have been a great movie.
Yeah.
Can't wait for Hollywood to ruin it in like 5 years to be like, let's make a live action.
Well, Darren Aronofsky's tried to make a Perfect Blue adaptation,
No.
and then we got Requiem for a Dream instead.
Okay.
So I don't think a Kon movie would ever.
Nah, I can't see it happening.
No, I
it
think
doesn't. I
we're-
don't think it would work.
I feel like
Yeah.
you'd lose too much.
Yeah, I think we're beyond the point. If it was going to happen, it probably would have been around the time that Aronofsky was trying to make it, the time that we got The Ring and we got the Grudge remakes, which we're only still getting films in those franchises because they exist. Whereas I think anything now is far less likely to happen. I think if any live action adaptation still happens, it'll be the Gundam one and it'll be the Akira one that are in production hell, and then that'll be it. I think they might stop trying because we've had Speed Racer, Battle Angel Alita. What else? There's been loads of them, but you know those two stand out as like
whatever they are.
Well, they're creative endeavors that work as a creative idea, but an execution, and
they're just sort of
because people do like Speed Racer as like a creative piece by the Wachowskis, and people like Alita as like a creative piece from Rodriguez, but they're not like stellar.
They're not great
pieces of
movies.
cinema. No, I also don't want Taika Waititi to direct the Akira.
Oh my fucking god, no!
Yeah,
please, God, no.
He came on board the project in I think 2019, and then left it to work on the Star Wars one. But then he was like, "Oh, I might work on Akira first, and then come back to Star Wars." And I'm like, "Don't."
I don't dislike Taika. I don't like him as much as I used to.
No, I don't hate him or anything.
His early work is really good.
Yeah. I just don't think he's the one to do Akira.
God, no. That's incompatible in my mind.
I think he works best in like his original spheres. You know
Exactly.
Jojo Rabbit was great.
Jojo Rabbit's a fantastic
Shaun.
movie.
I know. It's on the list, believe me.
Like What We Do in the Shadows, iconic. If either of you,
I've seen clips. I've seen half of it. I'll admit I like the comedy. I don't like the movie so much.
I mean, it's low budget.
Yeah,
kind of mockumentary.
I find overall the movie's kind of boring, but I find the humor absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
it's also on my list.
The show is also good. Watch it.
I've heard a lot of good things about the show. I keep almost watching it. I just haven't actually committed.
Yeah.
Let me know what you do. Let's
Yeah,
move on to however.
How the fuck are we gonna do this?
Should we go to our Trello page? And
I want to give context.
Yeah. So how we decide to pick our movies is generally by compiling lists of things that interest us.
Yes.
And this was pretty high on my list, I'll admit.
Yeah, it was on your... Okay, so for context even further... Melina, whenever I ask, I'll just, create like a list of a couple of things.
Like we have a master list of stuff we plan to watch, and like you ask us to make lists.
And then we plan around them and compile them into like, so far we have the rest of the season planned out.
Yeah. But when we're like picking that, we cross-examine like what I pick and what Melina picks, and if there's like something we both really want to watch, that'll probably get picked.
And then I fill in gaps of stuff that I want to watch, and sort of,
we work down from there.
Yeah, it's a balance. And Melina always Shaun makes, however many I ask. And it was like, make one just in general with a couple of TV shows, and then make a Halloween one. Yeah. Even though we don't have like a lot of horror stuff.
The last one I made about, hold on, I've still got it here. Like about 7-ish for TV, 7-ish for movie, and about 4 for like the OVAs.
You had a sensible breakdown of it. You broke it down into the formats of what we had.
Yeah, because that's a smart thing to do.
Melina came with tiers.
Yeah, she got like S tier, A tier.
She came
I made my tiers. How dare you?
Functionally, that's what they were.
If we were at my desktop, I'd be able to pull them up because I still have them.
Yeah, you've got them as notes.
Yeah, I got them as sticky notes on my PC because I'm about the only fucking person that uses that app.
I remember showing up and I was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't within my tiers, I didn't rank them.
I love that this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
To delay talking about the actual show.
Prep,
And so Melina came with 5 and we went from worst to best and
on your best.
On her best, which was Yes Please.
Yes.
No, yes.
Number 3 was Himegoto.
Yes, because it had been on our list for a while.
I want to wipe my hands clear of this. It was not on my list.
No, it wasn't on Shaun's list.
For sure. But let's read the description.
Yeah.
That was here.
So the description that was there was the My Anime list description, which I've never removed because I put the link for you guys to...
Yeah.
So...
Because it was the description that made me interested in it. First and foremost, I
It's
do
funny,
not do
this-
any research into this.
This
besides-
description really shows like people who know enough about anime to know what direction it would go in,
Yeah,
and
you
those
know-
that do not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, even the genre tags in here don't do it enough.
No.
Because I was gonna say maybe I should have done what they do in fanfic, where it's the tags that
Yeah,
sort of give you a general idea.
Yeah. Which we'll get into
We'll
in the
get
later
into, yeah.
episode.
So here's the description from my anime. From my anime list. Constantly on the run from loan sharks, Hime Arakawa has to deal with the debt left over from his parents' lousy spending habits, which they left under his name. Fleeing in a maid outfit forced upon him by the moneylenders, he is found and rescued by Shimoshina High School's student council, who pay the debt in full. However, now indebted to the student council for saving him, they not only make Hime transfer schools, but also make him a part of the student council as their servant. Forced to cross-dress for the rest of his high school years, Hime has no other option but to obey the demands of the girls in the student council. As he is harassed both mentally and physically, he must overcome his somewhat perverted classmates and join forces with other cross-dressers throughout the school.
So
It's that
looked
last
at-
paragraph.
Yeah,
that
which
really.
Was that on the
I
trail
don't think
page?
the
'Cause I
last
don't think that
paragraph was
on it.
there.
I don't know if this has been updated recently.
Oh, it could be.
Because
Yeah.
I just noticed the written by
Yeah.
Mal rewrite team
So
here.
I think we only had the first bit, so
Yeah.
we don't know anything about the perverted.
Yeah, or all the
anything.
fucked up shit.
And I legit, when I read this, I was like, oh, it's so nice. These girls are helping him out. It's like an all-girls school, so he has to blend in, and they're trying to help him.
It does sound like
and
it
they
could
want...
be the premise of like a chick flick sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I was just imagining, you have to help us with the book club. We have to, work in the library.
You poor fool.
So
And that is
here's-
not
here's
it.
here's the thing. Reading that first paragraph almost sounds like Oran High School Host Club. Because here's the description of Oran High School Host Club. Haruhi Fujioka is a studious girl who has recently enrolled at the prestigious Oran Academy. One day, while looking for a quiet and peaceful place to study, she stumbles across a seemingly unused music room. Upon entering, Haruhi is welcomed by the members of the well-known Host Club, a club in which attractive boys amuse girls from across the school. However, when Tamaki Suo, the founder and president of the club, startles the bright scholarship student, she accidentally breaks an expensive vase. With repayment looking difficult for Haruhi, the host club members come up with the perfect solution for this girl's problem, work for the club, and ultimately become a host herself. Mistaken for a boy by her peers, Haruhi has to entertain various female students while coping with her fellow hosts' extravagant personalities.
That sounds better.
That is better.
We
This
should've
is
watched
the
that.
good
Yeah.
version
Fuck.
of this show.
What we got was just a bunch of underage girls and a girl named 18 plus.
That's her name.
That's her
That's not her
name.
age rating.
That's
That's
her
her
name.
name.
Yeah. Don't forget the girl dressed as a boy, number one.
Number one.
Yeah. And they basically harass this poor boy who has no choice but to follow what they do.
Yeah.
And they have their perverted minds, these girls, just dead set on embarrassing and like humiliating this poor boy
For 13 episodes.
for 300 episodes.
This is trash. This is just straight up trash.
I'd also like to point out that Hime and his brother Kaguya are guys, right?
Yes.
Their names are both female.
Yeah.
Kaguya and Hime are both female names. Hime literally means princess.
Which is, ties into the name of the show.
Yeah.
Himegoto as a word means secret, but it also can mean secret princess as well. Yeah, because the English translation is secret princess Himegoto. Oh, this fucking show.
How do we... How?
I genuinely don't know.
As a
How?
woman, I was very uncomfortable.
As a guy, I was very uncomfortable.
Well,
Also, as a guy, I was so fucking uncomfortable.
so they definitely don't shy away from the shapes of bodies.
the forms.
The shapes. You know how, boobs are usually portrayed in anime? Well, when there's a boy in there, certain things jiggle the same way,
There's
apparently.
a lot of jiggle.
There's so much.
The first scene where they reveal to the rest of the club that Hime is indeed a guy, they give him a fucking lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just proceed to never draw it like that for the rest of the show.
No.
Which,
No. They're
good,
constantly lifting a skirt
yeah.
to show, like, other people his shapes.
Everyone is strangely into this.
Yeah.
And no one's like, girl, that's fucked
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
No
Except the student morals club.
the student more.
Which I'm gonna be honest, I'm at some points I didn't know if I was rooting for them or not.
The chairman of the Public Morals Club
is also
Yeah.
cross-dressing.
yeah.
Yes.
So is her maid.
Which shocked
And
you.
so is the main character's brother.
Yeah.
To the point where at the end of this 13 episode, 4 minutes each, I just thought everyone was cross-dressing.
Yeah.
The
And
student
if they
council.
could have established that early on, I could have been like, okay.
The student council and like one other character are the only characters that we meet that aren't cross-dressing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
But everyone else is so uncomfortably into this.
Yeah.
yeah. And
Like
I don't know how
perverted like
Yeah.
into this.
pervertedly into it.
Yeah.
Like, to the point where it genuinely made me so uncomfortable.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, I think the episode that I hated the most was where they made Hime like do a beauty contest.
The bikini
The
contest.
bikini
yeah.
contest, and like they said it'd be good if there was like spillage. I'm like, girl,
What's wrong with you?
what is wrong with
Not
you?
even the first time that gets brought up
No,
either.
Wow.
yeah, first of all, but just to put him on a stage, and at the end there's fucking spillage, and everyone laughs.
Yeah.
And ha ha ha. I'm like, no, this is a teenage boy
Yeah.
who is incredibly embarrassed.
Where's
Yep.
the consent?
Yeah.
Where's
First
the
of all,
consent?
the consent. Where the fuck is
Where's
the
the
consent?
consent?
Where's the respect?
Yeah. Why is the 18 plus girl so into the rape stuff?
Oh god.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Oh.
Yeah, she has this weird power trip where her dad is the principal or some
I think her dad's the principal. Yeah.
Her dad has some high position within the school.
Which I'm gonna be honest, completely forgot about.
Yeah.
Because I think it's only brought up once.
I'm not googling 18 plus.
No,
Himegoto,
no,
though.
don't worry.
Don't. Just
Um
18
so-
plus daddy.
she kind of very early on becomes kind of the leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
she's-
though she's not the student council president.
No,
No.
she's the vice, which, you know,
She's the
that
vice.
shocked me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact she's even a fucking student.
Yeah, that's a good point as
Yeah,
well.
her name is 18 plus.
She looks 18
shouldn't.
plus.
Yes.
She's
Yeah.
very much drawn.
Yeah, but the way she's drawn
yeah.
is
Yeah.
very...
Yeah.
Like when she's in even just the like school swimsuit, I was like, this bitch ain't a student.
Like-
she is absolutely a teacher.
In
Oh, yeah.
every credit sequence, we have like a scene where they're like doing the makeup and stuff, and like when it gets to her, we see full cleavage.
Full cleave.
Yeah.
Also, everyone's like weirdly older in the credit sequence.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's as if they're, flashing forward to them regretting their choice.
Except Hime's still very much dressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if they made this show like about him maybe realizing something about himself.
Yeah, self-discovery. That would have been nice. It felt like it was going there near the end.
Yeah, it would have been nice if it went that direction.
And I was
Yeah.
almost like, is this gonna have like some actual good message at the end?
no.
No, absolutely not. They just had some. I don't want to, drag the whole team here, but there was some pervert who had some ideas and was like, I'm somehow going to make this work and put it in a show.
This
Yeah.
is all of the worst slice of life tropes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slice of life ecchi tropes just smashed in to the most
Yeah.
concentrated form. You got awful handling of the cross-dressing.
Yes. For 2014,
Yeah,
For
that's why I
2014.
was so
it is
shocked.
already horrible.
The manga ended in 2015, so it still went on another year after this.
Oh my god.
You have 18 plus fully just looking like a teacher,
Yes.
And she's also just the worst.
and she's also just a terrible person. Then there's the manga author
Artist.
artist who's flat, and that's her like
Personality
main
trait.
personality
Yeah.
trait. Then you have the
flat.
cutesy,
girl.
yeah, who's the student council president who doesn't really fucking do anything.
No, she's just kind of there.
I genuinely forgot she was part of
Yeah.
this until like the last few episodes where like they have the sort of doing this a little bit. There's like a sort of mini arc in the last.
Yeah, they
episodes.
really try to make up something why Hime starts. Oh, she likes the student council again. You know what fucking happens? Hime is almost raped
Twice.
Student council doesn't step in.
Nope.
No,
Doesn't. They're watching.
Yeah, and
This
they're like,
happen.
can we just let this go on a little more? And
Like,
it's played for
They
laughs.
even do the fucking nosebleed on one of the characters.
Yeah. And the sort of arc is that 2 of the student councillors realize it's fucked up.
Yeah.
And they regret and they say they're sorry. 18 plus doesn't.
No.
No.
And at the end of the series, that's not really resolved.
No.
Just Hime goes to school still, cross-dressing, and his brother is like, you don't gotta do that anymore. And then
Even though his brother
Is also.
it's also, but I'm assuming he was doing it by choice. The brother.
Which raises some questions.
That could be a whole self-discovery thing in a better show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If there was just an ounce of like someone wanting to make any character likable or understandable, because again, if they framed it, it's like it's a school, a very prestigious school for girls only. So you have a few boys dressing up as girls because they want to get into the school.
Yeah.
I guess sure I can
Do what you gotta
Yeah.
for credit.
yes.
I think the flip of this would have been Hime joining the public morals club
I mean, that'd be better.
Yeah.
and the student council being the antagonists.
I think that
Yeah, because that feels... Because the Public Morals Council, which I'm surprised to say, felt a lot more nice.
Yeah. I also wouldn't have them be the public morals club.
Yeah, because that's a weird...
it's a weird fucking
Yeah.
club.
I'd
Angle.
probably have just had them being like a cross-dressing club because all of the members are, cross-dressing. You got...
Or even just something simple like a drama club or something.
Yeah.
Or a
that,
cosplay
like,
club before
Yeah.
all yeah.
Because you got Kaguya, you got the daughter of the public morals minister or some shit like that, the maid, and the guy who's actually the only
girl.
guy character but is actually a girl.
Which I hate to say, when they revealed that, I kind of laughed a little.
I laughed as well because I was like, I thought you were the only...
But they reveal this because these two people are caught kind of getting it a little on, in their high school selves, and they're like, oh my god, straight things.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait, no. Wait, yes.
Yeah,
But
but
no. Because the reason I was like, oh, the maids,
how are you gonna... Okay, think of your words.
Think of your words.
the
Try.
reason I thought the maid was actually a girl
I thought the same thing, there's no shame.
Yeah.
is because of the cannons.
Bazongas.
The bazongas.
The boing boing.
The Dobon honkaroos.
My God.
We are children.
Over the boulders.
Yeah, which she just then pulls off her
Over the
chest.
shoulder boulders.
Yeah.
She just takes it off and is like, oh no, they're fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, when you're watching a show about high school kids is not a thought occurrence.
No.
The amount of male nipple in this show make me uncomfortable.
The amount of anime that never show male nipples, that just do not draw guys with nipples, and they give these characters fucking pepperammies.
This is the one show that they don't get in the Ken
chorizo
doll.
slices. It's so fucking distracting.
I know! I didn't think we'd get hung up on that. Okay.
I don't know where the fuck to go from here, I'll be honest.
This show is so short, but it felt so
Oh
fucking
my
long.
god. I watched it in like small bursts.
I watched it in one sitting. So I was
my
like,
God.
I'll,
You were sort of like taking breaks in between episodes.
Oh yeah, I
as
kept
well,
pausing and fucking browsing Discord and shit. Because
I mean,
I went for a bath last night, so I'm like, okay, I'll relax. And then, done a bit of reading. I was like, okay, it's 10. That's fine, I'll watch Himegoto. It's only like an hour.
Yeah.
It was past midnight by the time I actually
Yeah.
finished.
I started at like 4:30 and I don't think I actually finished till like 6.
Yeah, you said, oh, Himegoto is one of those shows, and then proceeded to not talk.
What the fuck was I supposed to say?
It's unfair if you get warning.
I just got a message later like, well, I'm
you see
glad
it?
that's over.
Yeah, like an hour passes and I'm like, well,
done.
Can cross that off the fucking list.
Yeah.
No, I watched it, I was off on the Sunday, so I was like, I'll just watch, an episode here and there so I can separate the content maybe a bit mentally. And Manuel's just sitting next to me. He's like, what the fuck are you watching? I'm like, I didn't know. I didn't know it would be like this.
Horrible image for you where like...
You were watching this at work.
Yeah, like, because you mentioned to me sometimes, like, sometimes you'll watch what we need to watch, like, at like, work because you've got nothing else to do. And I was...
my job.
Yeah. I hope your boss isn't listening.
Oh, the thought of you watching this at work is fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was my thing. I was so scared that, like, you'd start and like, oh, I can't watch this at work.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
How do you explain that to your boss?
I wouldn't even try. I'll leave.
There's my notice. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You can fire me right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't blame you.
Okay. No, I just watch this, every now and then pausing to just take a breath in the middle of a 4-minute episode.
Yeah.
To be
Many times I would pause and go, we're only a minute into it. Okay.
it helped that the theme song was 30 seconds. I'll say that. Yeah.
After a while, I just kept skipping the theme song.
Oh no, I needed that.
I just let it play. There was some sort of like instinctual primal thing that the opening and ending instilled, because it felt like those pirated episodes from back in the day where nobody cut the commercials out. Because
weirdly,
typically anime doesn't do credits that scroll across the screen like that.
Yeah, no, I noticed. I was like, that's
I
new.
felt like there was an ad playing and I was like...
Yeah, when you have pirated stuff and then in the corner, next on.
Yeah.
Or you have the thing in the middle like, or whatever the fucking, this program is brought to you by these sponsors thing.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
Kono Bango,
the little TV rating in the corner constantly.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah, from when they used to rip the dub from the fucking TV channels and it'd say like TV L7
like
plus.
Y7 or something, yeah.
I remember watching so many Walking Dead episodes like that.
Dude, I watched a lot of Pokemon like that.
Yeah, I think like most of the last half of Bleach I had to watch like that as well.
Memories.
Why the fuck was this released on Blu-ray?
It's got a physical release.
You watched the Blu-ray version.
Oh my god!
I don't own it.
Okay, thank fuck.
I don't know.
I was about to really change
Yeah,
my perception.
I'll fully admit this. At some point, someone requested me to sync up the Crunchyroll subtitles with their copy of the Blu-ray, and I just obliged them.
I got a shiver there. I'm so sorry.
Like 13 episodes. And it's like 4 minutes, so I was like, that's not a lot of work. So yeah, you watched the Blu-ray version because that was what was on the Team Drive.
I'm not proud of this.
No.
I didn't.
Who
I just
would
watched what was on
want
Crunchyroll.
this? Who would want this physically?
I don't know. I have a feeling they must have got it cheap, or maybe they bought it with something to make like shipping worth it or something like that. Or they had to meet a certain requirement when ordering something. I want to hope for the best.
Or they got like a statue of like a character and it just came free or something.
It was just thrown in.
Just so on the warehouse.
Yeah, they just had to get rid of it.
Like they're completely
every
disconnected
purchase
things.
free. It's like, no.
They ordered a Fate figure and got Himegoto with it.
No, I was thinking like the fucking HoloLive like statues. Like they ordered one of those and like the warehouse that had them just had like a surplus of these.
God, could you imagine if I fucking got my Kali figure out and it was just came with Himegoto in the box? Like, what the fuck?
I feel like that's an insult to Kali.
Yeah.
But yeah, this don't watch it. If you truly want to make someone uncomfortable, put this on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This is fucking trash, and you're not serving anything.
It'd be a great April Fool's prank if you're like, I know the show. It's very short. We should watch a few episodes.
Yeah.
Great April Fool's prank to truly make someone never talk to you again.
This is something you send to your friend, titled something else that they actually want, and so when they click on it, they don't realize that like you've made them watch this. And then they hate you.
Yeah, this was already on my list, so let me defend the fact that I had seen this.
Can I state the fact, by the way, that you've told me like about like yesterday or something, you meant to take this off the list.
Yeah, I put this on as a joke when we were compiling the original list. And it sat for 6 months unnoticed.
Yeah, and you forgot to take it off when we were making a list.
Off,
so, this episode happened by accident.
Yep. There's how early I watched this.
Oh.
It is the 40th completed entry on my anime list.
Back in 2015.
So you've seen it.
I had seen it.
And you didn't remember.
I did not remember most of the content. It's also back when basically everything I watched was a shonen or shonen adjacent. With a couple of slice of life comedies thrown in there. My taste had not developed yet. There is so much schlock in here at this point in time. Like, there's Wolf Girl and Black Prince that we've talked about before. That fucking awful.
No, thank you.
Also, if it was short, I'd just watch it. Like, I had a Crunchyroll sub for the first time, and I was like, I want to get.
You gotta justify it.
Part of me can understand if you start watching, you're like, well, you know, it's only this little. I might as well finish it.
Yeah.
You know, I can understand that. Just so you can be like, no, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Nothing happens.
I haven't seen some of the other ones.
Do you want
that people will, you know, talk about, like Boku no Pico or shit like that.
That name, I just threw up a little in my mouth.
But I have seen Himegoto. Boku no Pico is probably still worse, to be fair. But you know,
From what I've heard, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Boku no Pico is like straight up hentai, so you know.
Yeah.
It's shit like this that makes people hate weebs.
Oh, I mean, fair.
Yeah, you know, this justifies the hate.
Yeah, no, exactly. I just wanted to get that out. This is why I don't.
Is this the first thing that we've watched that's been like genuinely trash? Outside, you know, like Final Fantasy Spirits Within is like a different thing.
That tried to be something.
Yeah.
Thing.
Whereas this is like fundamentally.
I think this is the first thing we watched that's full, just not trying.
Yeah.
Full perverted minds.
Yeah. Like this is the worst of anime, or like part of the worst of anime.
Yes.
I can't wait for like at the end of the season we put this in all the worst categories.
Yeah.
I'm gonna forget about it, and as soon as I show up, I know. I want to change a lot of my answer.
Yeah. See, I like slice of life and I like comedy, and so like unfortunately the way the show looks, like
it looks so innocent.
It hits that point of like, oh, this could be a really fucking good show, and then the content just absolutely fucking ruins it.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Don't watch this.
No, don't watch this.
Don't be deceived by how short it is. Just don't.
Yeah, I'm not scoring it. No.
I'm rating it trash out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, story-wise, I cannot give it anything.
Yeah, that's
Content,
fair.
I'm not giving it anything.
No.
Character development, non-existent.
No.
One perverted upskirt out of 10.
Yeah. If you want to watch
Only one?
I'm not giving more.
if you want to watch what this probably stole its premise from, just go watch Iron High School Host Club. That's actually a good show. Just don't watch it dubbed. The main character is voiced by a horrific piece of shit. So just watch the subtitled version.
Okay.
God, yeah, that's to pair it with Paprika. It just feels unfair.
Yeah,
almost.
It's almost like when we watched Perfect Blue and Promare together.
Yeah.
No, you see that weirdly.
I still look at that thumbnail and think, huh.
Honestly, I wouldn't change that though if we got the choice. That was perfect.
No, we should have paired Himegoto with it.
No.
Here's how you handle rape
Here's
in anime, and here's how you fucking don't.
I don't want one of our episodes to be the rape episode.
Oh my god.
On this week's special.
Oh,
Can we
god.
fucking end this episode
Yeah,
for the love
so
of God?
don't watch Himegoto.
No, don't watch it.
Maybe watch Paprika.
Give
Yeah, watch
Paprika a
Paprika.
try.
Yeah.
Just so you see it. It's
Yeah,
visually
see how you feel.
nice.
Colin only has 4 movies.
Might
I
as
think
well.
might as well watch all of them. We're definitely going to watch Tokyo Godfathers at some point.
Yeah.
And then you'll get the mega cut Satoshi Kon episode. So that'll be fun.
Yay.
Yeah. I would thank you for listening, but I feel like we've just sort of
I feel like you're cursing our names because you listened to
this.
this. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Someone unsubscribed over the last episode, so
They did.
Well,
We'll talk about that off episode.
we got a new subscriber like the day the episode came out, and then I went on today and I was like, why is the number gone down? I went into the episode.
it's the karma of this episode.
Which was the Your Name Anoshinoko episode, and it just had -1 next to it. And I'm like, really?
Well,
So
yeah.
thanks for
We liked both of them.
Whoever subscribed didn't subscribe on a particular episode. They just subscribed, and then the episode came out, and they listened to it, and then they unsubscribed because of the episode.
Fair enough.
Because you can see if someone unsubscribed from watching an episode. Oh. Which,
It's gonna happen again.
Yeah, probably.
Don't press it. No.
We
Get the mouse
there'll
away.
be something
Take
better
it
next
away.
time.
There's all this shit on screen. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. Go down into the comments. We'll see you next time.
Bye. Please watch something better.
Yeah.